As the 2020 Minnesota Vikings season continues just to spiral down, hopes down the drain, looking forward to the 2021 NFL draft is prudent, and frankly, it's all we got going on for us, which is kind of nice. So here are the top 5 Vikings draft needs headed into the 2021 NFL draft. Numero uno, quarterback. Yeah. So if you don't have a future franchise quarterback, if you have nothing to look forward to, if there's nothing that gets you out of bed in the morning, if you're just stuck with Kirk Cousins, you roll over, hey, just overpay Kirk until 2022. Yeah, what was the point? So the Vikings do need to secure their future franchise quarterback in potentially one of the greatest quarterback classes in history. Like, we're talking 1983 level of quarterback play here. So the Vikings have drafted in the top 10 just once during the Zimmer regime, 2014, Anthony Barr at 9. Of course, that was holdover from 2013 to Leslie Frazier. And I've said this before. If you're a team that does not plan to make a habit of drafting in the top 10, in the top 5, if you're not going to go Jets or Lions or Bengals on the bid, when you do happen through circumstances to find yourself in the top 10, top 5, you have to hit it. You have to get your future franchise quarterback. You have to hit it. And like we said, this potentially could be the deepest quarterback class in NFL history. And you don't need to force it. Like, Trevor Lawrence is numero uno. Don't get me wrong, he's up top. But it's not like Trevor Lawrence and a bunch of slappies. This is not a 1 or 2 quarterback class. This quarterback class is phenomenal. There could be 6 in the first round. There could be 7, 8, 9 in the top 100. You could have 7, 8 regular starters coming out of this draft class. And that's a bit hyperbole, but also not really. Also considering the level of quarterback play around the league at this moment in time, as well as the talent of the guys coming in. So like we said, Lawrence is 1, but then you have this beautiful strata of Trey Lance from NDSU, Zach Wilson, BYU, Justin Fields from Ohio State, Kyle Trask from Florida is really breaking fast. Mac Jones from Alabama is looking damn good. Tanner Morgan from the U, Jamie Newman from Wake Forest, but Georgia, but really Wake Forest. Derek King at Miami. Come on. Oh, by the way, so it's a regional thing. So when I said the U for Rashad Bateman, I was referring to the University of Minnesota, even though, of course, nationally the U that's the U, baby. But here in Minnesota, we do call the University of Minnesota the U. It's just a weird colloquial thing. Anyway, no pussyfooting around. Get your guy. Next up, number 2, positional draft need for the Vikings heading into the 2021 quarterback. Now, I say this in jest, but also not really. So the Vikings have 3 4th-round picks, 2 5th-round picks, and I'm not even counting comp picks, as well as whatever the Vikings get by unloading some of the veterans at the trade deadline. So double dip. Go ahead and double dip the chips. Take Trey Lance or Zach Wilson or Justin Fields in the first round, and then day 3, pick up Kellen Mond from Texas A&M or Ian Book from Notre Dame or KJ Costello, recently benched from Mississippi State, but he's back. Why not? Grab 2 lottery tickets in this great quarterback class. Why the hell not? But really, number 2, so offensive line. So the question is, what position? So likely going to need 2 offensive linemen. O'Neal and Bradbury are the only 2 locks. Ezra Cleveland, whatever debut, he first time playing on the right side in recent memory. He's a tackle. He is not a guard. He is a tackle. So if they finally get their head out of their asses and decide that Ezra Cleveland is the future left tackle of the Vikings, then you need 2 guards. But if they're determined to have Cleveland inside, then you need left tackle, because I don't see Riley Reef having future here, as well as a guard spot. So lack of a second rounder sucks because it limits options, because the Vikings could go, if they're high enough and enough quarterbacks go, they could get Penny Sewell in the first round, who potentially could be the greatest left tackle prospect in the past quarter century. And then also take quarterback at 2. They could have that option. That's off the table as of right now, unless they recoup that 2 from the unique trade. And also Ohio State. So Wyatt Davis is the best guard prospect in this class. Could be one of the best ones in recent memory. Can't wait to see him with the Big Ten back in business. I'm sure he'll just truck and road grade. If it came down to it, and say the Vikings are stuck with Ezra Cleveland at left guard, somehow, some way they end up with Penny Sewell in the first round, and then they're able to maneuver, get Wyatt Davis. I don't even care who the quarterback is at that point. Just take a 5th-round slappy. Let's go. Just put him behind that rock-solid offensive line, and let's go. But either way, Rick or the new GM Can't ignore the offensive line. Next up, draft position need number 3 for the Vikings heading in 2021. Defensive tackle, defensive interior. So the Vikings have missed that penetrating inside presence since Sharif had his injury and surgery issues, as well as Sheldon Richardson left to the Browns in free agency, and they've never really replaced it. So Jaleel Johnson ain't. Shamar Stephen is fine. Armon Watts has been disappointing. Maybe James Lynch is going to be part of the solution if they'll actually let him on the damn field. Michael Pierce will be back if he doesn't opt out in 2021, but he's not a pass rusher. He's a 2-down, multi-gap run stuffer, which is fine. But getting a consistent interior pass rush makes life so much easier. Makes it easier for the edge rushers, makes it easier for the linebackers, makes it easier for the cornerbacks, all 3 levels of the defense. So the Vikings do need to look to add a little bit of piece of that in either day 2, day 3, somewhere in there. Next up, drafting number 4 for the Vikings, wide receiver. So this one's may sound controversial. Jefferson is obviously a star in the making, but just imagine him with Thielen and a true wide receiver 3, especially a guy outside, big body, quarterback TBD needs a tall receiver, right? As well as Adam Thielen, he's not getting any younger. So, I mean, BC, I do like. I still have faith in. He's nice, but he's a wide receiver 4, which is fine. Irv Smith is nice, but he's a tight end. Chad Beebe is not a thing, despite how badly Gary Kubiak wants to make it a thing. So just imagine. So say the Vikings whiff on some quarterbacks, and then they just, say they're drafting at like 7, 8, 9, and all the quarterbacks go, and Penny Sewell's gone. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. We have to take Jamar Chase, who Justin Jefferson made a star at LSU, or Rashad Bateman, who even as highly as we think of Tyler Johnson, caught his first career touchdown against the Packers. Love it. Rashad Bateman is a better prospect. Rondell Moore, the superstar dynamic athlete from Purdue, who is off the radar a little bit because he missed last season with injury, but he's back in. Or in the middle rounds, there's going to be a ton of wide receiver talent as well, because as much hype as the 2020 wide receiver class got, 2021 could be even better, especially in terms of the depth. And lastly, draft positional need number 5 for the Vikings, pending TBD. So I get this as a cop-out because it depends on what the Vikings do either at the trade deadline or in the offseason. Because if the Vikings trade Harrison or don't retain Anthony Harris, then safety is a position of need. If the Vikings don't retain Yannick, edge rusher, cornerback could be a spot if you don't believe in Gladney, Dantzler, and Hand. They're going to get a ton of experience this year. But adding a little bit of supplementation could be fun. Just don't draft a cornerback at the top of the first round. Oh my goodness! Like, could you imagine if Zimmer and Spielberg are still here, and say the Vikings are like 6, and then they take a cornerback over a future franchise quarterback, and then they don't draft again until the 3rd round? People will riot. It'll be over, right? And also, I mean, hell, if Anthony Barr is gone, maybe they don't retain Eric Wilson. All of a sudden, Eric Kendricks and Micah Parsons. Oh, hello. It's not bad. But again, that's a long ways down the line. But for Vikings fans sitting at 1-5 at the bye week, that's all we got. That's all we need, though. So there you go. But your thoughts and our thoughts. Vikings top 5 positional draft needs heading into the 2021 draft. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.